it up with those sits bones. And then bring that to a close and really lift and lengthen the spine so that you're strengthening the muscles on that support the spine. And then go ahead and bring your hands to Anjali Mudra. And as you inhale, sweep the arms down and up. And then exhale your hands back to the heart center. And do that 2 more times. Inhale up. And exhale back. And once more, inhale. And once more, exhale. Now, go ahead and lace your hands together like this and turn the palms toward in front of you. So, Debbie, you won't be able to do this one, but you could just bring your hands out in front of you like this. The rest of us are going to stretch into our fingers and then lift the arms up. So you can just bring your arms like this, but our palms are turned up. Squeeze the fingers, bend the elbows, bring the palms of the hands back behind the head. And then press the hands back up. And then open the arms, float the hands down. And then rotate the shoulders forward and up and down the back. And forward and up. And drawing the shoulder blades gently towards each other and down the back. And one more time, forward and up and down the back. And again, lace the fingers together. This time, lace the fingers and then whichever pointer finger is on top, switch it up and put the other pointer finger on top. It'll feel real weird. And then press the hands forward, still feeling kind of odd. And bring the hands up, gently squeeze the fingers together, draw the elbows apart. Press the hands back up, drawing the hands down to your side, and then rolling the shoulders forward and up and down the back. Forward and up and down the back. And one more time like that, forward and up and down the back. And we'll do that whole series one more time, lacing the fingers, pressing the hands, lifting the arms up, bending the elbows, pressing the hands up, drawing the hands down, and then shoulders forward and up and down the back. 2 more times. And then take a few breaths. So go ahead and just bring your hands to your belly and lengthen the spine. And let's do this twisting flow to the right and back to center and to the left. Keeping the spine long. And since this is a lunchtime practice and you're getting ready to eat lunch, you can think about firing up the digestive juices. In Ayurveda, they call that Agni. Agni is the fire of digestion. And this twisting back and forth sort of gets the digestive system ready to receive food. So just working into that Agni. And then go ahead and twist to the right. Bring your left arm to the left knee, right hand by your hip, lengthen. And take a slow, deep twist to the right. Navel, ribs, chest, shoulder, and finally turn the head to look towards the right. Breathing here. And then lengthen, coming back to the front, head, shoulder, arm, chest, and belly. Bring your arms down to the side, and then inhale, lift up, look up. And exhale back down. 2 more times like that. Inhale, lift up, look up. And exhale back down. And one more time. Inhale, lift up and look up. And exhale back down. And then bring your right hand to the inside of your right knee, left hand by your left hip and lengthen. And we'll take that slow, deep twist to the left, navel, ribs, chest, shoulder, turning the head and breathing here. And then lengthen the spine, come back to the front, head, shoulder, arm, chest, and belly. And again, inhale, stretching up. And exhale down. Go 2 more times. Really feel the lift from the sits bones through the tips of the fingers and hold the spine long as the arms come down. And 1 more time. So one of the things that's so damaging about sitting in a chair is that, so the way we're sitting right now, we're keeping our shoulders over our hips and our ears over the shoulders, and the gravitational forces are stacking down the midline of our body, and the bones are lined up, so the force of the gravitational force is transmitted down those stacked bones. If you have even a little curve like this, now the gravitational forces are going down here, making this even more pronounced. And so it is really important to keep that, that strong upward back. So our mothers were right about our posture. So now take your right hand and wrap it around the front of the shin and bring this leg in. And we're going to make those hip circles here. So any of you who have taken either the therapeutic elements or the lullaby asana class on Thursday evenings, we've done this sitting on the mat. And then just reverse that, going back the other way. And then lace both hands and hug this knee and sit up really tall and go ahead and strongly flex the foot and see if you can open the heart center and breathe here. And then release your hands and use your belly muscles to lower that knee down and just take a few breaths. And we're going to go ahead and do the other side. So lifting this left knee and these circles, these can be little tiny or great big. We're mostly interested in this hip joint. And then reverse that, going back the other way. And then bring that to a close, lace your fingers over the shin, hug the knee in and lengthen. Flex that left foot, breathe into the belly. And then go ahead and release and lower that foot down. Now bring your hands to the heart center. And as you inhale, sweep the arms down and up, lift and lengthen. And as you exhale, hinge forward, releasing, sweeping the fingertips towards the earth. Inhale as you come back up. And exhale down the midline. Inhale up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, lift up. Bringing the hands down the midline. Inhaling up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale up. And down the midline. And let's go one more time. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep up. and then down the midline. Now, go ahead and come back to this right knee, lace your fingers over the shin and lift this knee in. So if your heel is higher than this thigh, just bring this foot over, bring the ankle onto the knee, and then see if you can open that right leg out to the right a little bit and press into the sits bones, lengthen the spine. If you move this left leg in a little bit, sometimes people move that in, walk it back out so your left ankle is right under the knee, and just sit up nice and tall here. If you can't get your foot up here, you can take a block or a cushion and you can just bring that you can bring that foot over here like this, or even up like that, or you can bring this to the inside of the foot and bring the side of this is actually better. Bring the side of the foot, you can't see my bring the side of the foot onto the yoga block, or you can use a sturdy pillow or a bolster so that the knee is open like this, because we're really interested in the rotation of the hips. This is called a seated pigeon pose. It's fairly advanced. It's a good stretch right in here. So now, sitting up nice and tall, go ahead and hinge forward and lift back up. When you hinge from the hip joint. So no bending at the waist like this, because that's not what we're after here. It's a hinging forward, leading with the heart center right here. Hinging forward and lifting up. And hinging forward and up. One more time, hinging forward and lifting up. And this is a little tiny movement for most of us. And then sit up nice and tall here and move in this holographic wave. So you're going to feel the holographic wave. It'll kind of go into that right hip in a gentle, watery way. And then bring that to a close and just take this right hand behind your right hip and lengthen and take a slow deep twist to the right, turning the head. And again, you may feel this in the right hip because the spine is connected to the pelvis at the sacrum, at the lowest fixed part of the spine. And then come back to the front, head, shoulder, chest, and belly. And then take your right hand on your right ankle, left hand by your left hip and lengthen. And a slow open twist to the left, turning your head towards the left shoulder. And coming back to the front, head, shoulder, chest, and belly. Just take a few breaths here. And maybe just hinge forward and back another time or two. See if that has changed at all for you. And then bring that to a close. Come back up to sitting and lace your fingers over the shin, hug it in. And then again, lower it down to the mat. Sit up nice and tall and just notice how each leg feels. Without judgment, you just want to notice if they feel different. And then go ahead and bring your left knee up into the chest. Hug it. Try to get that foot higher than, so there's a little bit of space between the top of my thigh and that foot. And then take your right hand, put it on that left ankle, bring it across, bringing the knee in a little bit, and then let that knee open, sitting up nice and tall here. And again, if you can't get your foot on your leg like this, just bring it onto a block, or maybe you have a little footstool or a folded up blanket, and bring it here. And just take a few breaths here. See if you can kind of will this hip to open and release. So you just want to sort of show some compassion for yourself or your body. Now we're going to go ahead and hinge forward and lift up these little tiny forward folds. You're hinging right here from the hips, right here down where the leg meets the pelvis and the spine is staying long. You lead with the heart center right here. So not with the chin and not curving the back, but these nice flat back forward folds. And then come back up to sitting and lengthen the spine and go ahead and go into your holographic wave. And then go ahead and bring that to a close and come back up to sitting nice and tall, and take your right hand is on your left ankle, and take your left hand behind your left hip, lengthen and twist gently towards that bent knee, towards the left, turning the head to look over the left shoulder. And then make your way back to the front, head, shoulder, chest, and belly. And then take your left hand, wrap it around your left ankle, your right hand goes behind your right hip, lengthen, and take that open twist to the right. So this will feel a little bit easier. Turning the head to look towards the right shoulder, breathing here. And coming back to the front, head, shoulder, arm, chest, and belly. And then just a few forward folds again, like this, forward and up. And forward and up. Notice if it feels different. A little more open, a little more fluid. And then come up to sitting and place your fingers over your shin, draw the knee in, and go ahead and lower the foot down. And again, notice each side. And then I just want to take us through a seated cat-cow and holographic. So as you inhale, draw the navel in. Imagine you have a ball here, and you're lifting yourself up and over that ball as you come into the cat. And then press the sits bones, lengthen the spine, and see if you can open your heart center. Shine that heart center out to the ceiling. Inhale, draw the navel in. There's a ball here you're rolling up and over, so that you're not compressing the anterior spine. You're just lengthening and flexing it. And then press the sits bones, lengthen the spine, open the heart center. You are better off in a yoga practice, keep going, in a yoga practice doing like 2 or 3 cat-cows in a slow, mindful way than doing 10 of them in a reckless, repetitive, mindless sort of a way. One more cat. And then come on back up to sitting and lengthen your spine. So this is the most useful thing if you work in an office or you work at a desk, and that is this holographic wave. So these are little tiny 3-dimensional asymmetric movements. I'm getting into the connective tissue that wraps around bundles of muscle fibers, individual muscles. It wraps around groups of muscles, and then it even extends into the organs. And there's a sheet of fascia covering all the organs. And the latest science says that it's one sheet of fascia that's all connected up. So the fascia is continuous, just like the skin. Go ahead and bring that to a close and sit up nice and tall and take a few breaths here. And I'm just going to do a couple of little stretches for our head and neck. So take your nose and start making circles in a clockwise direction. And start the circles fairly small. And then you can begin to circle them bigger and bigger until you're making great big circles. Stretching into the neck. And you're just trying to identify and slowly release any tension in your neck muscles. The slower you go, the better. And the next time your chin is down on the chest, stay here and breathe. And we'll go and lift your head up. And now we'll go the other way. So start with little circles with your nose, going counterclockwise, so backwards around that clock face. And then you can spiral a little bigger and a little bigger until you're making great big circles. And the next time your chin is down on the chest, stay here and breathe. And then lift your ears up over your shoulders and lengthen. And then just take your right ear, you're going to lower your right ear towards your right shoulder, but again, think of that ball here so that rather than compressing into this right side of the neck, you want to lengthen and then lifting, think about lifting the neck up and over. I always think about those Alice in Wonderland pictures where she has a big long neck. Imagine you have that big long neck. Try to release through here. Try not to let that lift. You can even reach out with that left hand to bring that left shoulder down a bit and take a few breaths. On your next inhale, lift the head up. And stay here for a breath or two because you want to give these muscles a chance to recover from that big stretch. And then lengthen. And like you have a ball over here on this left shoulder, you want to lift up and over, lengthening here, letting the weight of the head gently stretch out the muscles over here. And if you want to reach out with this right hand, lowering that shoulder down, breathing here, you can do that. And then releasing the arm and lifting the head back to neutral. And then just float your arms down and keep your head facing straight ahead, but just lift the arms up and lengthen your neck as if someone had your hair like this and they're pulling you straight up. And then keep that length and bring the arms down. And then make your way. You can either get down on your mat on your back for Shavasana, or you can stay in the chair. If you're going to stay in the chair, you can slide yourself back like this and then lengthen the spine and then rest your long, straight spine back against the chair back with the ears over the shoulders. And just drop into your breath, inhaling and exhaling. And if you're down on the floor, just bring your arms down and release into the floor. We'll be here for a little while.